السلام عليكم وأهلا بكم في هذا الدرس وفي قناتي حيث أعلم اللغة العربية وأحيانا اللغة الإنجليزية أيضا. Today we're going to be learning 4 pieces of Kuwaiti slang. Now ممكن أنت كويتي، ممكن أنتي كويتية، ممكن أنتم كويتيون، لكن maybe you're not Kuwaiti and maybe you just fancy learning some Kuwaiti slang. Maybe you're going there to work or to visit or to check it out or just to see the sights of Kuwait. I made a video called Living in Kuwait. If you want to see the sights, just watch the video. You don't need to go there, but it's a cool place to go. Anyway, I digress. The first word I'm going to teach you right now in Kuwaiti slang is this one. Samardaha, samardaha, samardaha. And it's spelled like that. And what this means is like, it's kind of like a pretty loose party. Like if you go to someone's party and it's like, it's a bit crazy, like people are kicking off, there's all sorts of like slightly questionable, perhaps slightly debaucherous activities going on, then you might say this party, هذا الحفلة كان سمردحة. But you wouldn't actually say it because I kind of mixed up the Fusha and the slang there, but سمردحة means like a loose party. So say you're like watching England play Sweden in Soho on a Saturday night and it's 35 degrees and at the same time you've got like Pride Festival and there are like fights and there's like parties and there's all sorts of things happening all at once, then you might say, oh, how was last night? Samradaha, samradaha. Mental, crazy. Second word is this. Father quarter. Ibn Ruba. Ibn Ruba. What the does this mean? Ibn Ruba. Ibn Ruba. Father quarter. So you know how in England or in the UK or in the US or probably in other countries as well, you've got like your dollar store, your pound store, your euro store. Do you have those in Germany and France? Probably. You have like a bit of a tacky store. It's like looks a bit cheap. Like say you're walking past a restaurant and like the door's hanging off, a rat just ran out of it. There's 2 blokes in there. One looks like he's like may or may not be dead, and the other one looks like he's probably either asleep or kind of about to fall off his chair. You might look at that place and you might think, Ibn Ruba. Looks a bit tacky, looks a bit of a dive, looks a bit of a hole. I want to kind of avoid that place. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to take my fiance to this place. I don't want to take my grandmother who's come to visit me all the way from Pakistan to this place. You know, I give you some idea. If you want to describe somewhere as a bit like, a bit dodgy, a bit questionable, a bit skeptical, you want to be a bit skeptical of this place, then you can say Ibn Ruba, Ibn Ruba, Ibn Ruba. Number 3. Fashila, fashila. Now, if you know Arabic, you might know this verb, fashila, fashala, 3 letters, fashala. And what this means is fail, but what it also means is like awkward. Like if I said to you, oh, do you want to come out and hang out with me and my ex-girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend's mate and then her ex-boyfriend all together, you might be like, fashila. You know, like, I'm alright, thanks, don't fancy it. I'd rather not, TBH. So fashila means like, I'm alright, thanks. If you're like, what else can I say? Like, say there's like a friend who like you haven't seen for ages and, you know, you've been away at uni and then you come back and they're like, oh, hey, do you want to come out and hang out with me and my family? We're going to pick some strawberries. You might be like, fashila. I mean, is that correct? If you're Kuwaiti, comment below and explain. If you're not Kuwaiti and you're watching this to learn, then I do often say to my students then, write down below in the comments, you know, write down in the comments a question, someone will answer it, either me or someone else, and read the comments as well, because most of my audience is Arabic, they speak Arabic as a first language, and they do correct me, they keep me on my toes, they keep me very particular, they keep me very on the ball and accurate and precise with what I teach you and checking that it's correct. So yeah, read it down in the comments for any other kind of descriptions of this meaning. But fashila is kind of like, oh, that's awkward, I'm not sure I want to do that. It has that kind of sense to it. By the way, on that note, if you do want to ask me, Mike, directly a question, Arabic Mike, then you can do it in several ways. The best way to get a guaranteed response is on Patreon. So visit this address here, patreon.com/Arabic Mike, and I'm on there all the time. I upload videos early on Patreon, so you get to see them a day before everyone else, and I'm basically on there for online Arabic or English tips and advice. So up to you, or you can add me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and try and get me on there with, all my details for that are just there. Okay, back to lesson. Fourth, and finally, I think it's my favorite one, is this. Di Makina. The fourth and final one, I think, is my favorite, and it is this. Machine chicken. Machine chicken. What's a machine chicken, I hear you ask? Well, you know those chickens which are like a golden brown, big, fat, juicy, I shouldn't say juicy because, you shouldn't necessarily imply or assume you're going to eat them, but you probably are. They're very ropey, they've got a big breast, and they've got big feathers. That's like a good organically fed chicken. It's only eating the best corn, the best grain from the best field, from the best farmer with the best filtered water. That's like a good chicken. Now, you know how you can also get those little chickens which don't have any feathers? They've probably got like a rash on their head. They've got like a red face. They don't have much skin. They've been factory farmed. They've been bred for meat, probably for KFC or Texas chicken or Church's chicken, whatever you call it, where you're from. And they basically look like they're soulless. They're like pretty sad existence, to be honest. But this video is not about animal welfare. It's about Kuwaiti Arabic. So let's get back to it. Dijaj Makina. I said dijaj, but Kuwaiti say di, like they say majbous di for one of their favorite meals. Majbous di looks like this, and it's a nice meal of like chicken and rice. Oh, delicious. If you ever go to Kuwait, إذا زرت الكويت لازم تأكل هذا الطعام مجبوس دياي. لذيذ لذيذ. Anyway, Di Makina, if you ever feel like one of those chickens which has been raised and born in a battery farm, and you've had a cage and you've just been like force-fed food for like 6 months until you're big enough to then eat, then you're probably Di Makina. If you've had a really bad day, something really bad is happening, like you've been in the library for 12 hours, you've forgotten who you are, who your family is, what day it is, who the Prime Minister is, who the President is, you've forgotten what year it is, you feel like Di Makina. Like I'm dying right now, like I'm dead. I have no soul, I've lost my body, my soul, my mind, my thoughts, my brain is all gone. That is Di Makina. Thanks for watching this little video about Kuwaiti slang. I'm Arabic Mike العربي. أنا أدرس اللغة العربية أحيانا واللغة الإنجليزية أحيانا. اليوم ندرس مع بعض اللغة العربية، بالضبط اللغة العربية اللهجة الكويتية. أحب اللغة العربية وأحب الشرق الأوسط والخليج، وأنا أحب أيضا أن أدرس اللغة الإنجليزية. Don't forget to subscribe. لا تنسى أن تشترك في قناتي. You can see more videos there and there. And until next time, مع السلامة. Bye bye.